Salut survivors! Welcome back to Solu.cast channel in Night of the Dead for a day 1 tutorial to help new players to get started with the game. Today is not a tower defense let's play, and I will make more guides in the future on specific topics. I'm pleased to be part of the nightofthedead.org fan site. It's a community based website to share knowledge about the game, share tips, provide support for mods, interactive map. You should check out nightofthedead.org to help you started with the game and share with the community. In this guide, I will be playing the day 1, and I'll be providing a lot of tips along the way during the first day of the game. It is not meant to be played in hard difficulty, it's just in a simple, normal difficulty in order to get started with the game. If you want more videos about tower defense design, you should check out my Let's Play series focused on tower defense Horde Base design. I hope that you will find this guide helpful. Please leave a like and subscribe. If you have questions or more tips you would like to add to this tutorial, please leave a message in the comments. Now, let's get started, survivors. In the day 1, you will get quests. So for this, you can turn on and off the quests in the options. So you go to gameplay under show tutorial and you can enable or disable to see the quests. Okay. So at the very beginning, it's recommended to just follow the quests. Okay. That's important because if you don't do that, you could say start by building a foundation or building a crafting bench, and in fact you will still have to do it afterwards to follow the quest chain. So just follow the quest chain at the beginning is a good starting point. Now the first quest, after gathering a few branches, 3 branches with your knife, is to craft a felling axe. So to craft the felling axe, you need to press tab, and you will have your different menu on what you can craft with your hands, not on a crafting bench. So to craft a felling axe, for example, here we will need 1 tree branch, 1 piece of iron, 1 vine, and 1 small stone. So here you can see I am missing 1 small stone. So you can just get a 1 small stone, and you can then make the felling axe. It appears in your inventory. Here at the top you can see all your inventory. Then you can see here under this tab all your gear, weapons, ammo. Then you can equip and drag it to your tool belt. The third one is all your food. I like to put in the tool belt the energy bar at the beginning, and then later on you have some better foods. But in case you need to heal, you can use this energy bar. So you start here in this mode, difficulty level with these 6 energy bars. That's very good for a start. And then here you have more like construction materials under the last tab. Good. So with our felling axe, next is to get some logs. That will give me a bit of time to describe to you some of the resources, because when we gather some herbs with a knife, you obtain leaves, tree branches, and vine. Let me get a vine. I think on this one we don't get vines actually. On these ones there, the small bushes, then you will get vines. Yes, exactly. So you see here I got some tree branches, vines, and leaves. While when cutting a tree such as this one, I will get logs and tree branches. It takes a bit of time at the beginning to chop things. You have skills later to improve it. While if you chop a bigger tree, you will get more logs, but less tree branches and less vines. So depending on what you need most, you can decide to chop more trees or big trees, small trees or bushes. The tree branches are really critical because they are the ones that will permit you to reload your traps. So tree branches are very important for that, among other things, of course. Vine is also critical to craft ropes, build foundations, so that's actually a very important wooden resource. And the logs, once you have the crafting benches with the logs, you can then prepare planks, trim logs, lumber, many different byproducts from the raw logs. So you have multiple wooden resources. The same applies to the stones. A little bit later we are going to have a quest to make a pickaxe and to break some stones. You will see the same at that point in time. Now in the game, it's a survival game with Horde Nights every night in the normal settings and tower defense design for your bases. In parallel, there is a lore in the game and there are some journal books. So at several places in the world, at every starting point, you have these journals. So this is the very first one here. There is a story, and during your game you can read it, or you can pause the video to read it now. It is sending you at a location on the map where you will find the next journal. So you have like different clues, one after the next, to continue the story, to try to escape from the island. Now, it's asking us to build a foundation. So that foundation will be for our house base. If I say that, it's because I think a common mistake at the beginning of the game is that you are going to build a base meant to be for your house and for fighting the hordes. I would highly recommend that you don't mix these two bases. These should be two separate bases as early as you can in the game. This way you can keep your house base safe away from the horde. Okay, you might still need, of course, to put a little defense on your house base, but it's recommended to separate it. Now, another point of discussion on where to build your base is considering that you want the two bases separate from each other, as mentioned earlier, then you don't want them too far from each other either, because in your house, that's where you have your crafting benches, so you want to be able to use your house close to your Horde base where you will need access to the crafting benches nearby. Another advice is that in order to build the Horde base, it's much easier to do it in a flat area. Not on a place with a lot of slopes. At least for beginning the game, that's much easier to really target to a flat area. So see where I am here along the road, it's relatively flat, so it could be where you can be considering to start a Horde base, for example. Even if the presence of these vehicles here can present more like a handicap at some point in time, but it's not too slopey here, so you can consider to build the Horde base here. So assuming that's the case, then looking up here, oh look, here is nice also to build the Horde base here. Yeah, here can be a good place to build a Horde base. It's relatively flat to get started. It's not bad. Now, to build the house, then it should be not adjacent, but not too far. So maybe somewhere around here can do the job. So we are going to clear a little bit of space and build our foundation. And then the next quest will be about building multiple crafting benches in the game. You have some crafting benches to convert wooden products, stone products, and metal products into refined materials. You have another crafting bench to craft bullets, ballista balls, trebuchet, weaponry, and different type of weapons. And where you can also do some upgrades of your weapons, upgrades of your bags, etc. And then you have another workbench to craft advanced materials for farming and other aspects of the game. And finally, you have a research bench, which obviously is to do some research, right? So we are going to build these different crafting benches as part of the tutorial. So I'm clearing a little bit here where we are going to build our little house. I think we also have a nice little landscape here, so that will be good. Okay, so we'll build our foundation. To build things, you have to press B, obviously, and you have a menu with different sub-menus. One is for all the type of traps. One is more for utility things, where you have lights, for example, and storage. The storage box is a recommended storage. Then you have here all the crafting benches I was talking about. Equipment, production table, material production table, crafting table, cooking table, research table. And then you have the menu to build things. So you have walls, floors, etc. Now we need to start by building a foundation. So that's a quest. That's what you need to do at the beginning to build a house. With a mouse, you can scroll to pick the orientation of your foundation. You start by building it in wood. It's a tier 1 material, then you can upgrade it to stone and bricks, tier 2, and finally upgrade it to tier 3 in metal in the future. As long as it's in wood, it can burn, obviously. So it's something to consider. Now, you can modify its angle and modify its elevation with Q and E. So we'll just put the first one like this here. Now you can easily build multiple ones, so that this way you can have more space, obviously. So we're going to build a little area here. As you can see, it snaps automatically. That's a very cool advantage. But sometimes, in some cases, when you set up traps, you don't want to snap. But to get started, to snap things, is just making it easier. Okay. Can we put one here? Yes. Sounds good. Perfect. Now we need to put some stairs. We go to building, stairs, and here you see it's using some vine as well. So all this basic structure, basic foundation, basic stairs is using basic logs and vine. Then the future construction will require boards, planks, lumber, trimmed logs. And for this you will need crafting benches. So wait, where are we going to put our entrance? I think that will be cool here. So here it will be faster to go down there. I've got to put it like that. Here, let's clear up around there. Oops. I already had a knife. Or you don't need to worry, say that you would cut the tree and the tree would fall on your construction. It's not like that in this game. You don't need to worry about this. You see mushrooms a little bit everywhere. These mushrooms can later on be used to cook some cooked mushrooms, obviously, and their advantage is that they will give you health, but they will not give you condition. So that's a good opportunity for me to explain to you some of these aspects of the game. As you can see at the top left of the screen, you have 3 bars. You have one red bar, it's your health, and the nominal basic minimum is 100 health. Then afterwards you have in yellow your stamina. Now the stamina goes down when you run, but does not go down when you harvest. So you can consider, when you want to be particularly efficient, to just keep running all the time and have little stopovers to harvest a stone, harvest a bush, etc. The mechanism of stamina is not like in some other games. Okay? And then lastly, the third one, and probably the most important one, is the condition. So the condition determines your maximum stamina and your maximum health. Over time, your condition degrades. So you have some food to provide you just health. I'm going to show you that in a second. And you have some food that will provide you health and condition. Okay? So let's have a look at that. If you look at the food here, in the trees and bushes, I got some apple, plus 5 health, orange, plus 5 health, and some cherries, plus 5 health. So I'm going to eat an apple, for example, and this gives me plus 5 health. But it's not giving me condition. To gain condition, the energy bar, you can see, will provide you plus 20 condition. Later on, you can cook grilled animals, or steak, or bread, or many different type of foods. Some provide more health, some provide more condition, some provide a buff to maximum condition for one day. So for example, here you start with a total of 10 little white rectangles in your condition, so you have 100 condition. If you would eat a steak platter, which is an end game food, you would get plus 40 condition for one day. So you would have 140 condition for one day, meaning that you would have 140 stamina and 140 health for one day, as your 140 maximum stamina and 140 maximum health for one day. So these 3 parameters at the top are kind of important, and that's why these 6 energy bars you have at the beginning can do for your condition and for your health, so that's pretty good. Now the lights, to turn on and off the lights, it's L, as it is in the mission, in the quests. Something that I like to do, and this is the case in the game as you see it here, I have relatively high gamma, so that by night I can see much better. So to easily change that, you go to options, graphics, gamma. So for me, I think by default it was 2.1, and during daytime it's very fine. And if you want to take some screenshots or what, it's much more cool. But then when you go to fight during nighttime, I think to have around 3.5 gamma is much more suitable. To check the map, yes, it's M. So you have this relatively large map here. I will give no spoiler on the map so that you can have fun exploring it. And if you want, there are maps provided in nightofthedead.org to help you if you need some help to find clues or whatever. Cool. Now we have built our little base here, the foundation. At least we are going to have multiple quests to build equipment crafting benches. each of these, or several of these at least, have an initial size and will grow bigger. So this is not the case of that one. The equipment production table will remain at its size. So I'm trying not to go too close to the edge, because if I go too close to the edge, then later when you want to put a wall, it doesn't fit well. Okay, so it's good to not try to squeeze it in too much to the edges, even if I like to save space. Good. And then we are going to make our basic weapons. The bow, and then should ask us to make a spear. I know. After the bow, now it's the sleeping bag. So to equip, once again, you go to your inventory, your gear, and you can equip it on your bar. Now we need to make a sleeping bag. So to make a sleeping bag, I think we need 2 rubbers. It's not here, the sleeping bag. It's under the menu here. Build, utility, sleeping bag. Yes, we need 2 rubber and we need 1 more cloth. So we are going to go scavenge. To get the piece of rubber and the cloth, you have to scavenge. Or sometime it can be on a loot of zombies. But obviously on day 1, we are going to try to avoid to fight zombies. To get rubber, the easy way is on cars. Okay, so earlier while moving around, I have already scavenged that car. We will go for the next car. And to get cloth, there are scattered some boxes we can scavenge. And when we scavenge these boxes, we often find research materials and find cloth. Okay, here we'll need to be a little careful. Oh, we got a rubber, but look, I'm here already. We can see the zombie there. So if you're a bit careful, you don't make noise, they are not going to come normally. If they come, well, you should make quickly some arrows, and we are going to do that now. Good. The bow is, I think, with a spear at the very beginning, really good. You can get back your arrows most of the time after hunting the zombies or taking them down. So that's very useful. And the spear has a good thrust attack, but a bit later, if I can, I'll show you the spear. It has a thrust attack that is a bit special. That you have 2 attacks as a thrust, and the 3rd attack rotating. So you need to learn, I think on day 1 at the beginning, to practice your bow and your spear at the starting point. So let's build our sleeping bag. That's your respawn point. Right now, to save space, I'll put it here. Later in the game, you can build a claw hammer and demolish workbenches or demolish whatever you have built and rebuild it elsewhere. And you can increase the skill points so that you can recover up to 100% in the future. Oh, so for the next quest, where we need to do a small animal trap, we need a boulder. So to get a boulder, we will need to get a pickaxe, obviously. Okay, so we are going to mine a stone. This here, it is not a stone, it's iron. Here, it's stones. So you have different type of stones or stone products in the game. You have the small stones, the one that you find on the floor, which are used to craft a few things and mostly used to repair tier 2 stone construction. And then you have the stone that you gather from these rock boulders. At the beginning you are really slow to hammer them. My pickaxe is basic and also I have the 0 skill points to do it faster, better. So you need to, of course, get the right hitbox. And when you harvest and mine these boulders, you obtain a different type of product. One is a limestone, so you use the limestone to make cement. And then you get some stones and you get some boulders. So the boulders, that's what here we need to do the small animal trap. We are just going to put it here. Small animal trap. Here. So the small animal trap, you will regularly catch animals here, rabbits, foxes, and every time you need to reload it, then you will need a seed. So at the beginning you get seeds whenever you have a chance to get some on bushes, trees, etc. When you start to have your own farm, you produce seeds very easily. So as soon as you have a lot of seeds, you should not hesitate to do several small animal traps. This will provide you meat, and this meat you can grill it, roast it on the crafting bench for cooking purpose, without spending skill points in research, and that can supply you in terms of condition and health. Now, our next quest is to build a research table. What are we missing? Ropes, we need 2 lumber, 2 planks. You see, that's what we were discussing earlier. So for this to make the lumber and the planks, we will need the crafting bench to do that, and the ropes. So material production table to process natural materials. That's the one we were talking about earlier in the general introduction. So as you can see, it can become quite big in the future. You see the future footprint of that workbench. At the beginning it's just that small, but in the future it will become much bigger. So we said 2 lumber and 2 planks. And then we needed ropes. So for the rope, we are going to need the other one, actually. Crafting table, that's the one. Process work table that can be used to process a variety of materials. Yes, that's the one. Oh, it's also using a plank and a lumber. Okay. So I got to put it here. And here we'll be able to make a rope. So to make a rope, you need cloth. So it's a bit misleading because you can make cloth from piece of cloth. So from a piece of cloth, you craft a cloth, and with a cloth plus a vine, then you make a rope. Okay. Now we were missing 1 rope, so if we make 1 more lumber and 1 more plank, we should have enough to do our research table. Yes, we do. Okay, let's put it somewhere here. Like that. Super. Now, they want us to make a pendulum. So a pendulum is a trap. Okay, so if you want to go see here, that's a traps. You have special traps, like a meat bait to attract zombies, or a trapdoor for them to fall through it, mine, ankle trap. Here you have the animal traps. Here you have the ranged traps against zombies, and then you have the melee ones. That's where we have the trebuchet, the pendulum, sorry. And our quest is to do this pendulum. From the previous quests, we have already obtained iron ingots, and we have already obtained a trap machine. So these are a bit the harder ones to procure at the beginning. So it's cool we have obtained this. So what we will need now will be 4 lumber, 4 wooden planks, so we need to go chop some trees. We'll need some nails and 10 ropes. So the 10 ropes is probably going to be the hardest part of what we will need. We'll need for this some nails. We will, I think, go into a scavenging mission there, so that we will obtain what we need. So we'll make a spear. We cannot, if we make a spear, then we will need to use already 1 rope and 1 ingot. But the spear is actually very useful at the beginning, and I would recommend to have 1 spear. Now, if we cannot do 1 spear now, and I think we cannot because we cannot make a rope, we cannot, then we will fight mostly with a bow. Now, you can always use a knife as a kite and move technique at the beginning, eh? So it's not bad. It's not like we have no options. As discussed, let's get a little bit of wood on the way. Also, we have no skill points. Our bow is not upgraded, so our bow is probably going to be a little bit weak at the beginning. So we might need to anticipate, if needed, to make more arrows. Now, if ever you have a problem, to be honest, you can just run away, make more arrows, and come back. You know, it's okay. You have no need to be in a panic. It's okay. Zombies are not specifically fast at the beginning. Later, there are zombies that jump. There are zombies that have like a acceleration, but that's fine. So, to approach a place like this, ideally we would like to fight them one by one, obviously, right? So we're going to try to pull one, then one, then one. While you are scavenging an item, you can look in your back, you can look on the side, you can look in every direction. That's very useful. We have a cool road sign here. Oh, you see this bird here? So there are multiple birds in the game. There are multiple animals, and they are here to provide food, but also to craft upgrades for your weapons, your bags, etc. Hoo-hoo! He actually ran. So you see, he has sometimes this kind of move. I can get back my arrow. I should do it after, actually, once he's dead. Okay, one down. Okay, here now you can loot at the same time the arrow and the bag at the same time. Good, we got 2 cloths. Very nice. Let's continue. So the best is really to pull one by one. Here I got 2, that was not ideal. I like to get out. I think I got 3 now. I did. Ah yes, that's regularly a technique you can do, is climb on top of cars. Few of them can go back up. You will tell me I'm not shooting in the head. It's on purpose. If you shoot in the head, you have a high chance at losing your arrows. So right now I don't want to lose my arrows because they will cost some iron. So I'm on purpose not shooting in the head. Okay, lady. Oops. So you can see also they are not like doing heavy damage. I mean they do some of course, but it's okay, you can take some hits, it's not... Oh, she's not doing like a normal attack there. Okay, so I'm kind of low, so I'm going to eat an energy bar anyway I need it to get back my condition. Perfect. Okay, let's keep going. We'll build our pendulum. I think there were still some in the last room. I'll need some more arrows. One last guy here? No, we got them all. Okay, so let's take everything. Oh, here we have bullets. Okay, so that's obviously really good. You have in many different places weapons to scavenge. You cannot craft rifle then guns. You can only craft some type of weapons, and then after you can one rope, cool. Some oil also, it's nice, useful, and some research material. Nice. Okay. We needed to make 10 ropes. We have 6 pieces of cloth, so we can make 6 ropes. And we have 2, so 6 and 2, 8. We are still missing some. We'll need more. Let's keep going. We will easily find piece of cloth in the little boxes on the road here. So typically at the start of the game, and just scavenge everything here on the roads. So I have described to you earlier the different type of wooden materials. There are also different type of metal materials. So different metal materials, you have what you get from the piece of metal I just got here. It's called piece of iron. So the piece of iron will provide you... Is she coming to me? She does. So the little piece of iron, the small piece of iron, will be useful to mostly make arrows, bolts, and later on to also make or repair tier 3 foundations, tier 3 walls, tier 3 constructions. That's this piece of iron we get here just now. Then you can also get copper ore or iron ore when mining mostly. So see, if there is just one at a time and you have enough arrows, you can just spawn arrows on it. Again, not in the head. Yes, of course, you would use less arrows in the head, but you would lose your arrows. So you can get copper, iron. I think there is nothing to loot on that one. We should probably be good by now. Yes. So we'll get some trees on the way. The copper and the iron. So iron will soon become what you lack. And to get more iron, you will need to scavenge. You can get some this way. But the small pieces of iron cannot, as of today, be smelted into iron. So to get iron ore, it's these type of boulders. They are a bit long to mine at the beginning. But this is how you obtain iron ore. And then after you have upgraded your material processing workbench, then you can smelt these iron ores into iron ingots. And you can also smelt the copper ore into copper ingot. Okay, so you see here we got 2 iron ore and 1 copper ore. You need these copper and iron to craft bullets and to craft, importantly, what is required to make traps, the gearbox and the machine to make the traps. So we will go back and build the pendulum, but to build the pendulum we are going to need to build some foundations to build our pendulum. So we will go to do these foundations. As you can see, it's now 4 in the afternoon, so we should not lose too much time, but that's okay, we still have time. On day 1, I think we are doing a relatively good day 1. We have all our crafting benches, that's fine. What happened here? I guess it's glitched. Ah no, it was just a delay. And then the last one. So on day one, it's good to stay around your camp because you're setting up, right? But in the following days, it is a good idea to try to have a part of your time in the day to go harvest resources, hunt, etc. Sometime in the day in order to go scavenge, explore the map, find weapons, discover the clues of the game, and part of the time you are back at your base, you cook, craft arrows and bullet or ammunition for your trebuchet. You need to manage your time of the day to not spend one entire day to do the same thing. You need to try to diversify your time and manage your day. Now, as you can see here, our animal trap fell on an animal that we looted already, and then after you reload with a seed. And then there will be regularly animals getting caught in there. Good, so we will go build our pendulum. While we are here, let's do what we need to do for our pendulum. So yes, the trap machine. That's the trap machine that requires copper and ingots. Now we looted some ingots in our little scavenging mission, that's nice. So maybe if we have enough ingots, we will do a storage box, because inventory is something that quickly is a problem. But right now we are not going to do it yet. We first do our mission. So two more lumber and one more plank. And then we needed a couple of nails and some ropes. Normally we should be good. Yep, it's ready. So to build it, we are going to build a little platform at the bottom to show you as an example here. Melee, foundation here. So I think it's useful to not go too high, because anyway they cannot climb on it. And this way you can expand on the sides in the future to build a maze, for example. I'm not going to delve in detail in how to build a maze. That's not the purpose yet of this video. So I'm going to do a simple pendulum in a straight line. Here we build upstairs for the zombies to be able to come up. The first night you actually don't necessarily need a trap or what. In a normal setting, the first night you can fight your way through. It's a possibility, but it's good for the purpose of this tutorial to just follow the guide and do what is expected to do. And also you get here 10 Molotov as a reward. That's pretty useful. So you can see here it's snapping automatically in its right position. You have the option here. You could build whatever else. Could build a cutter. The cutter is really cool at the top of stairs here when it's arriving. You could build many different type of traps. That's really cool, the diversity of traps. Some are falling things and small, like the guillotine. Yeah, I like to have guillotines in a rare areas doing very high damage, but it has only 10 counts. While some traps, like the cutter traps I was showing maybe on the front, would give you 100 counts. The number of counts is how many times it hits an enemy. So the pendulum, as of now, I think it is 30 counts. So we're going to put a pendulum like this, and we have our pendulum here. So zombies will go up here, be hit by the pendulum, and we can just be at the back here waiting for them or shooting with our arrows. Let's build another foundation here, right? That will look cool. Good. Then here you will need to repair it or reload it when the time comes during the night. Yeah. We have obtained from the quest some Molotov. I would highly advise not to use a Molotov on your defenses as long as it's built in wood. That seems obvious, but it has happened to many people, including myself when I started the game, to try things, to experiment, and when trying that, well, I burned half of my base away. If ever this would happen, you can stop the fire. I'm going to show you. That's probably the best. Here. Perfect. So here you can come, and I don't want to upgrade, I want to stop the fire. Here, repair. So you see, you repair, and when you repair, you stop the fire. Okay? So you can stop it, but it's propagating. So if I had waited, it could go to next one, next one, next one, and then it would all burn everywhere. Now I would recommend at first to keep this cocktail Molotov when you are going to face bears, because when you go in the mountains, and you will go in the mountains, you will face bears, and while it's so much easier to start a bear with a Molotov in its face. Oh, we have another quest now. It's to make a compressor. Yeah, look, I think for the compressor, what's needed is to make a trap machine. So to make a trap machine, we would be needing to smelt. So to smelt, we need to go to level 3 of the materials bench. Okay, so how do we upgrade that? It's T for upgrading. Here we miss 4 planks and 2 boulders. So let's do it. 4 planks, 2 boulders. We've got to find boulders relatively fast. So I'm not going to do the compressor. I'm just at first going to show you how do you upgrade the materials workbench so that you can smelt copper and iron so that it's unlocked. And after, I'll go through a couple of tips I think that for me are more important right now than just crafting a compressor. You can craft many things in the game, many traps. You can discover this. Sometimes you cannot snap it right away, you need to be a little bit further away. Okay, so here I'll need 1 more rope, 4 planks. Unfortunately, I think we don't have enough ingredients for that here to do this. We don't, we have only 4 ropes. Okay, so look, we would need to go a bit more scavenging, but that's not the purpose really of the game. Here, what you can do, then you can upgrade it. For this you need bricks and trim stones. So to make bricks and trim stones, in the first tab of the material bench, it's all the wooden products, as we discussed earlier. The second one, it's all the products made from stone products, so cement from the limestone, as explained earlier. And then from the stones, here the stone, you can craft bricks. And from the boulders, you can craft trim stones. So say, when you are going to want to upgrade foundations, you will need more bricks. When you want to upgrade walls, you will need more trim stones. So as an example, if we would like to upgrade the stairs, we would need 1 cement, 3 bricks, 3 trim stones, and 2 nails, right? I would suggest at the beginning not to focus on upgrading your house base, but upgrade your combat base. That might seem obvious, but yeah, really. You need to upgrade your main combat base because zombies will damage it, then there will be zombies that will explode. Then, as explained earlier, if you want to use a cocktail Molotov, well, you need to have it upgraded. So I think one thing that you will quickly realize is that inventory space is a problem. Look, we have not really gone in a specific scavenging mission, but you just have several wooden materials, stone materials, multiple type of fruits. Let's eat that orange. Multiple type of mushrooms, different tools, and you will not have enough space to store everything. So what is recommended is to have some storage. So you have this storage box here. We need 1 plastic and 2 planks. Oh, can we? We will not be able to have a plastic here because we need to research junior engineer. the best would be to go scavenge to get that plastic. Are there some other storage interesting we could do here? I'm not really fond of some of these here. They are like specific. I like the storage box because you can just put anything you want. Okay, that's just simpler. But if you really need at the beginning, then you can consider to do the other ones. So for instance, here the small console would only be one iron plate, two nails, and this can be for storing raw materials. So it's not bad now. Maybe just to get a console here would be easier. So for this we would need 4 planks. We're going to make 4 planks. Tank, and then we can build a storage box. So here we know that this will grow bigger and this will grow bigger. So I'll put the storage box somewhere here. And in the future you can anyway, sorry, not storage but console. In the future you can move things around. Okay, you can make a claw hammer. I'm going to show you the claw hammer. Here, claw hammer. I'm not going to make it now because it's going to use inventory once again. Oh, for the purpose of showing you, I should. So you see, you equip your claw hammer and then you can demolish something. Now, when demolishing it, you will recover part of the materials. You need to improve your skill in order to recover more. Yes, so when you're a junior builder, you will return plus 10%, plus 10%, plus 10, 15, plus 15. So at the beginning, you will get only 50% back, and then as you level up your skill in builder, you will recover up to 100%. So it means that, you know, what you put at the beginning, you will be able to move it, and you know, it's not that expensive, these crafting benches. On day 3, 4, 5, you want to move these at the back of the house, you can. You want to move a trap, you can. It's not the end of the world. It's not frozen. Then in my storage box, I'll be able to store raw materials. So then I'll be able to put this, for example. Okay, then later on you can upgrade them. Maybe not that one, but the storage box there, the one I was recommending there. Utility, storage box. This one you can upgrade it. And from tier 1 up to tier 3, and you can store anything in this. So you can have one for raw ingredients, one for processed ingredients, and then you're good with it. Other than this, so we discussed, we wanted to show you the spear. So we are going to make one spear. Let's get the ingots. Earlier we didn't have enough, but now we do. Let's make a spear. Here you can make some bullets, as I said earlier. So for this you need copper ingots, and to make copper ingot you need to go smelt the copper ore we have harvested here earlier. The bullets you need a gun, we don't have a gun yet. And then the spear is here. So I like to have it, the bow here and the spear on 2. Then I can keep these here and these here. So the spear, we are going to see the spear. Then you have the bow, right? That is recommended that you know how to use this. So I'll turn on the light now. It's a bit late in the day, right? So here, when zombies will come here, they will fall down this, or they will come down here in this corridor, and the pendulum ball will fall into them. So they will be pushed and damaged and probably killed, but then you can also have your bow and arrow to shoot at them. Now if they should come here, you would then fight with a spear, and you would have first 2 thrust attacks, and then after the 2 thrust attacks, you have a rotating attack. When you do a thrust attack, as you can see here, you need to have the cursor higher above the head of your enemy so that you can shoot in the head. Okay, so you need a little bit to practice. So you can do 1, 2, and so yeah, that already don't shoot. So 1, 2, and then rotate and do the last one, right? and things like that. But this one is good, so you can push them back. If you go under the trap and there is no zombies, you're safe. But if you go under the trap and there is a zombie, you will be damaged by your own trap. You need to be careful with this. Another thing that is useful, I feel, in the game under utility, is to put up a flag. So for this we will need 1 piece of cloth and 4 small stones. I think we have no more cloth, but if you can early on build a flag, that is very useful, because then on your map you will have a little lozenge with the color of your flag, and at the top of your screen here, when you see south, west, north, east, you will also see that little lozenge with the color. So that is very useful to do that. Good. Well, I think this summarizes a lot of tips on how to start to have a good day one. Now they will attack at midnight. As you can see, it is now 20 or 8 p.m. So there is still 4 hours before they come. During these 4 hours, I could go to do some scavenging. I could cut some trees, gather resources, and put in stock in the base. I could do many things. There is still ample time to do stuff. There is no like such a big difficulty at the very beginning. But I think it's important to follow the starter quests, because you get rewards and it's leading you to learn things. It's important to consider to have 2 separate bases, the house and the tower defense base, where zombies will follow a path. You will build a maze and they will follow that maze. Then there are many tricks that is not the purpose of this day 1 tutorial. You should follow other tutorial videos in order to learn that, or as mentioned again in the introduction, you can check out my Let's Play videos and series on tower maze defense. That is with a lot of learning with the community, and it's really useful, I think, for beginner players to follow and get advices. Now, I hope you have enjoyed the video. Please leave a like and subscribe, and remember to join us and the community at the nightofthedead.org. Until then, I'll wish you a good day on this experiment of our pendulum. So you here, once it has attacked, it has used 2 counts out of 30, there is still 28, then you need to reload. And I reload with a tree branch. So you see we have 78 tree branches, is because every time when I move all around, I'm harvesting tree branches all the time. So I'm not in a need of tree branches when the Horde Night comes. Okay, so once again, I hope you enjoyed the video. Please leave a like and subscribe for more great videos. Join us at nightofthedead.org, and until then, have a good day. Cheers.